Hey everybody, how you doing? Hope your Thursday night is going well. I want to cut right to the chase and say the fear that some people have about video is taking on some crazy expressions. What I hope this vlog does is start a change by way of a dialogue, which explains that you cannot block people from making a video at an event that is in point of fact a public gathering of people to listen to and by dint of that act evaluate candidates running for mayor of Oakland. But that's what was done tonight. That was what was done quite simply on the part of the Melrose 27x Neighborhood Council. The Neighborhood Council announced their meet and greet of Oakland mayor candidates 11 hours ago, featuring Oakland District 4 Councilmember Shang Tao, Lisa Victory, Oakland Council Member District 6 Lauren Taylor, Seneca Scott, Derek Sue, and Treva Reed, and as well as Greg Hodge. And it was open from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So 6 p.m. is 9 p.m., 7:30 p.m. is 10:30 p.m. It ended about an hour ago. Now, someone posted on Yikesville Mayor, live stream or reporting on this, please. And Lee on Twitter wrote, a live stream would be great, to which Melrose 27x Neighborhood Council responded, unfortunately, there will be no live stream and no recording either. This is a community event. Note that, okay? And we are hosting it. We are hosting it. In other words, we have the power to shut you up, block you, okay? We are grateful to all the candidates that accepted our invitation. No debates at this event. So they've already mixed a number of actions that don't necessarily go together. First of all, they're assuming that anybody that records thinks this is going to be a debate. No. Second, they're thinking that they have, because it's their event, that, oh, they are free of the laws and you can't touch them and it's their little fiefdom and it's their little democracy, or their none thereof, okay? Their world. It's their world, their rules, that's it. You can either come or not. That's how they put it. That's how whoever wrote this representing Melrose 27x Neighborhood Council put it. Hey, it's our world and you don't have to be in it. Well, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. Okay? It just doesn't. And as proof, I go to none other than the Columbia Law Review, and the link will be on the description to this video. I go to the Columbia Law Review content, free speech and democracy in the video age is what I'm reading. And it's divided into 4 parts. And I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of what I'm reading. It reads that, first of all, that a number of important constitutional questions are implicated by the state regulation of video image capture. For example, if recording bans such as gag laws are constitutionally permissible, it is foreseeable that any number of industries and business operations would seek similar government controls, on surreptitious video recordings that might expose misconduct in other areas of the private sector, such as commercial child care facilities, senior care homes, hospitals, and industrial factories. Such laws represent a unique incidence of legal regulation, private commercial interests, co-opting state legislatures to take sides in distorting discourse by chilling the speech on only one side of an important debate. And it says that absent from the judicial and academic treatment of video recording regulations is any meaningful attempt to address the most pressing questions regarding application of the First Amendment. This article by the Columbia Law Review tries to fill that gap by identifying and answering 4 primary questions. First, is the active video image capture a form of free speech or an intrinsic precursor to speech and thereby covered by the First Amendment? Second, if video image capture is speech, does that include all such recordings or only those that occur in public or with the consent of the persons recorded? Although the First Amendment does not ordinarily apply to expressions occurring on private property, state laws that criminalize recording on public property based on the recording's consent necessarily implicate constitutional concerns because it invites cover-up. Third, if video recording is covered by the First Amendment, is its coverage limited to matters of public concern that facilitate public discourse? Ooh, listen to this, okay? Only by answering these open questions can lawyers and courts competently provide answers to some of the most vexing and undecided questions of free speech law, such as the constitutionality of laws banning drones, recording or criminalizing secret videos by undercover animal welfare investigators. Now, before I continue, I will explain this. The Oakland police specifically allow you to record them. You can say what you want. You can record them on the street. You can record them in a place of business because they recognize, and the city of Oakland officially recognizes video recording as free speech. So in that context, what Melrose 27x Neighborhood Council did was against the law. I can walk in and decide I'm going to vlog the event. They could say nothing about it, and if they called the police would do nothing about it. Why? Because first of all, they're holding an event around the concern of public interest that involves you and me as Oakland voters, and therefore, we have the right to initiate a type of public discourse. We have the right to express ourselves via free speech. We have the right to record. If anything, because that recording enhances the ability to achieve a public discourse. Okay? Now, the Columbia Law Review adds to that and writes this. In examining these issues, this article unfolds as follows. Part 1 argues that video recording is a form of expression covered by the First Amendment, or alternatively, that it constitutes conduct so directly linked to expression. Again, so directly linked to expression. Again, so directly linked to expression that its regulation must comply with constitutional safeguards for speech, and then examines existing case law and literature on the matter. This part concludes with a novel discussion, this is the Columbia Law Review again, explaining that none of the features that make video recording a form of speech apply differently when the recording takes place on private property, okay? Recording does not lose its speech characteristics depending on where it occurs. Indeed, there is no form of speech that becomes non-speech depending on its location. What does that mean in the context of the Melrose 27x Neighborhood Council mayoral meet and greet? It means that they had no business telling anybody they couldn't record. That's what it means. It means that just because they say in their tweet, and I will repeat, this is what Melrose 27x Neighborhood Council wrote on Twitter 5 hours ago. Unfortunately, there will be no live stream and no recording either. This is a community event to get neighbors excited about, and they put it in capital letters, voting. We invited the candidates and we are hosting it. In other words, this is our event and that's it. Right? And it continues. We are grateful to all the candidates that accepted our invitation. No debates at this event. No, 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 no. Or as Dikembe Mutombo might say, no, 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 no. I mean, come on. You can't do that, okay? 2 of my guys were there vlogging, Seneca Scott and Derek Sue. There's any 62 vloggers. I invite all of the mayoral candidates to establish their own ability to vlog on my channel. It's a different type of media that needs to be done far more often than it is. So I'm, once again, innovating the space, but I digress, all right? They did for a whole, minute and so many seconds, all right? But they did it. Anyway, back to what the Columbia Law Review says. It says, and I read that, okay? And again, where we picked up, it says, first of all, to remind you of the first point, first of all, the Columbia Law Review asserts that video recording is covered by the First Amendment. And it says that, okay? It says that video recording in public places or on private property with the consent of those recorded is presumptively protected under the First Amendment. And then it says the right to record attaches even when the recording is non-consensual and occurs on private property. Okay, so much for the right? Then it goes on. It reads, while this article acknowledges that the First Amendment does not limit the enforceability of generally applicable prohibitions on access to private property, at least so long as their application has only incidental impact on free speech, that doesn't. The Melrose one doesn't. It is nonetheless asserts that recording activity that is a matter of public concern, like the mayor's race, by someone who has gained lawful access to private property is protected speech. So, the Melrose Community Council acted illegally by attempting to stop what is protected speech in the form of video recording. What they did was wrong. What they did was wrong, wrong, wrong as the day is long. Wrong, okay? Completely wrong. Wrong. Let's go on here. It says that the Columbia Law Review also reads that this is not to say that all regulation of such recordings violates the First Amendment, and the article therefore addresses when countervailing government interests might justify limitations on the right to record. Then it goes on to say that Part 2 also considers but ultimately dismisses potential barriers to recognizing a right to record, particularly in private, under existing First Amendment doctrine. Throughout this part, the article draws on examples of laws regulating video recordings to suggest how its proposed model for a right to record would apply in context. So the upshot of the Columbia Law Review on free speech and democracy in the video age, that's the title, is that, hey, look, video recording is speech. Video recording is speech, okay? And what they did was wrong. Now, I don't know what brilliant genius there came up with this idea, but the simple fact of the matter is, let's take the fact that recording by a video is legal and also protected by the First Amendment, all right? Let's move that aside for a moment and consider the other problem, that video tracks further than an article. I repeat, video tracks further than an article. Why? Because the video, any video that's made, produces not just the moving film, if you will, but also still pictures, not just the thumbnail of the video of the event, but any type of picture that one may want to produce from the event. Then that video is posted in search, not only in video, but also the images come up in the image section. And if the video happens to be the key part of a media network, as is the case with Zenny62 Media, that video is also a blog. That's right. It is both a video and a blog. It is turned into a blog automatically, and therefore its reach is double that. Picked up not just by video platforms with respect to search on Google and Bing and DuckDuckGo and other areas, but also news areas like Google News or other news sections and just standard search. Okay? So it's spread, therefore it's impressions. Impressions are the number of times you see the title of something. Even if you don't look at it, you know it's out there. You might say, Zenny, and I know he's out there. Hey, that's still an impression. You saw the fact that I did something, so I win, all right? That activity is a central advantage of video. Far over standard article writing. Not only that, can be done much faster. What's the point of that? The point is that the Melrose 27x Community Council of Oakland has acted not only illegally, but not only anti-democratically, but anti-technically. They want to shut off technology. Oh, no. We don't want tech here. No, you cannot use tech. Oh, no. Again, to put on my Dikembe Mutombo voice, or put it in, no. I mean, come on. So please, that event is done, but let that be your last battlefield, to quote a title from a Star Trek episode from the original series. No more. Stop blocking video. Stop suggesting the idea that you can block video, because if I were there to test it, you would lose. The police would be on my side, and you would be very embarrassed. And any candidate that came to your defense would be equally embarrassed, if not more so, because they would be seen as blocking free speech. They would be seen as trying to control speech. They would be seen essentially as siding with authoritarians. Is that the kind of look you want? I leave that for you to think about and then answer. I hope your answer is no. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark OaklandNewsNowBlog.com. And that ends this broadcast.